faithfully delivering value, exploring great books worldwide. Hi, this is Sally's Book Club. Today we're exploring the book titled All Things Bright and Beautiful. This is a collection of essays about animals and people, and an enduring healing classic. What makes it therapeutic is the author's masterful storytelling. He narrates animal and human stories with ordinary warmth and humor that gently heals weary souls. The author, James Herriot, was a countryside veterinarian in England. At 50, encouraged by his wife, he began writing stories based on his veterinary career, including this book. British media said his writing talent put many professional authors to shame. Herriot's books topped the New York Times bestseller list and were adapted by the BBC. He received the Order of the British Empire and was received by the Queen. All Things Bright and Beautiful chronicles Herriot's stories from his 1939 veterinary graduation to 2Y1 enlistment, spanning 3 years with 39 vignettes. Given the episodic nature, I'll present the book through explicit and implicit narratives, animals and humans as the surface layer. The underlying thread follows Herriot's personal life as a young couple, how they built their life together through mutual support. First, the explicit narrative, animal and human stories. These stories unfold in Yorkshire, countryside where Herriot worked and lived, a serene landscape preserving traditional farming, genuine relationships, and unspoiled nature. Herriot's description. Between miles of rocky moorland and dark rippled waters, rushes sway beneath shifting clouds, painting light shadow ribbons over endless amber and green. Here one feels intimately connected with all creation. After graduation, Herriot began working in this picturesque setting. As a veterinarian, his primary patients were animals. In Herriot's view, animals possess spiritual essence. They share human-like emotions and distinct personalities. He observes cats maintaining regal composure, sitting upright like proper British gentlemen. He humorously notes cats resemble English gentlemen, both suppress emotional displays to preserve dignity. Then he jokes, pigs are nature's drama queens, screaming hysterically at slightest touch with Olympic-level lung capacity. Herriot encountered eccentric animals, a fries-obsessed dog, a revolutionary cat leader, and cows plotting strategic kicks. Each creature brims with unique charm. He once dealt with an unstoppable raging bull that only obeyed its mother. Using modern terms, this was essentially a mama's boy bull. Many animals displayed peculiar fixations, like a sheepdog passionately chasing vehicles as artistic pursuit. This canine artist religiously practiced his vehicular ballet daily, even passing the tradition to offspring. Herriot appreciated animal personalities through humble observation rather than human superiority. From animals, he learned profound life mysteries. In the Miracle of Life chapter, he documents a dystocia ewe story. This narrative encapsulates the book's central theme. The ewe's owner was a self-reliant farmer reluctant to call veterinarians. When Herriot arrived, the ewe was beyond saving, collapsed and dying. Choosing mercy, Herriot administered euthanasia. Yet 2 days later, the ewe miraculously revived with vibrant energy. The farmer reported it slept deeply for days before full recovery. Leaving the sheepfold, Herriot realized the ewe survived not from treatment, but because anesthesia halted its pain, letting natural healing prevail. Herriot vowed never to forget this lesson. Disease often kills through relentless pain that destroys survival instinct before physical resistance fails. It relieves suffering and fear, and miracles become possible. Beyond animals, Herriot chronicled remarkable people. Farmers received special attention in his writings. He admired farmers' resilience and vitality. He poetically called them Earth's nurturing force. One story features a Highland farmer. This farmer maintained dilapidated buildings while his children trekked 2 miles daily to school. Working 365 days yearly, his only luxury was midnight awakenings, allowing him to roll over and sleep more. And the impoverished farmer rebuilt his farm brick by brick, seeking dairy certification for extra 4 pence per gallon. Those 4 pence meant life-changing income for him. Farmers never surrendered, despite hardships. Mrs. Dale's story exemplifies this resilience. The 150-centimeter widow inherited barren land and young children after her husband's sudden death. Inexperience worsened her crisis when her cattle contracted contagious parasitic bronchitis. The entire herd fell ill, with bleak recovery prospects Herriot couldn't bear to disclose. Facing catastrophe, the impoverished widow calmly fed premium hay and high-protein oats. This risky investment could have bankrupted her, but miraculously, most cattle recovered, only 12 lost, 5 disabled. This completely defied Herriot's expectations. In that medically primitive era, it was Mrs. Dale's devoted care, rather than medicine, that worked miracles. Herriot declared this iron-willed woman would never be defeated by adversity. Farmers' lives weren't all hardship, though. Herriot documented colorful characters like the self-important farmer Pigott. After attending a 2-week agricultural seminar at Leeds University in his teens, Pigott fancied himself an academic. He pompously misused technical terms like calling mastitis spear gangrene and intestinal intussusception trichilia. He even insisted specimen analysis was done at the library instead of laboratory. Herriot employed unorthodox methods that surprisingly worked, providing comic relief. When Pigott's cows kept getting mastitis from rough milking, how to convince the proud farmer? Herriot cured Pigott's back pain by making him stop milking, which also stopped the mastitis. The cows stayed healthy, and Pigott hailed Herriot as a miracle worker. These improvised diagnostic methods contradicted textbooks but worked like situational comedy. As critics noted, the book finds joy in daily life despite hardships. Having covered individual merits of animals and people, now we examine human-animal relationships in Herriot's works. Herriot saw a profound mutual understanding between humans and animals. In traditional farming, animals were loyal partners. Herriot's career began during Britain's agricultural modernization. The shift from animal power to machinery happened rapidly. Working draft horses disappeared within years. Old Carter Terry and his horse worked together for 20 years, even going to town together. Though Terry learned to drive tractors, his passion for horses never faded. The farmer who worked with Terry for decades understood this bond, maintaining one stable stall specifically. When the 21-year-old horse contracted tetanus beyond recovery, Terry insisted Herriot perform the euthanasia. Herriot recognized Terry sought trusted hands to minimize suffering. Accepting this solemn duty, Herriot facilitated the final farewell between old man and older steed. Terry spoke steadily. "Old friend, we've ridden thousands of miles and shared countless words. You've always anticipated my moves and words, responding to subtle cues." And with final dignity, Terry told his boss, "Back to work," before exiting the stable, leaving Herriot to pull the trigger. The gunshot ended the farm's equine era, symbolizing both traditional life's conclusion and modernity's dawn.